Let's have a conversation.
Ooh, that first 20 seconds was not even on audio, but I'll say it again. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. I hope you all Fridays are going well. Mine is going good so far. Hi, Lisa, and hi to everybody who is out here watching this topic. So, if you haven't noticed, I have started to title these mindful discussions. I think that this is a cool breakup of just the TV show recaps. I like this for the in between to kind of have topics that are still related to reality TV, but not specific to one show or specific to one castmate from a show or particular set of castmates to a show. You know what I'm trying to say. These are kind of non-specific topics that I think are kind of in my mental health realm or my mental health bag in a way. So I'm about to dive into this. Hi, Jacqueline. Hi, Jackie from New York. Hey, Cass. So this is something that I've gone over. I don't know why my camera's like that right now. But anyways, ignore the blurriness of the camera. I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah. So the topic that I have here is my thoughts on fans demanding public apologies from house guests or house guests, castmates, whatever you want to call them. House guests is just ingrained in my head because of Big Brother specifically, and Big Brother just finished. I have a thing about immediate apologies, and I want to start off with using a personal example. I had a very good friend of mine who I was speaking to online one day. This was not recently, this was some years ago, but we were speaking online and I made a comment in the DM and it was mistaken completely. They thought that what I was saying was a joke about them. And it wasn't even a joke. It's not even one of those things where it's like I made a joke and there was a grain of truth to it. It wasn't even really a joke. It was just a statement that was flat out misunderstood. And this friend was upset with me for that statement, which they thought was making a joke about them. So, in the immediate aftermath, I didn't think that anything that I had said was wrong. So I said, I'm sorry. And the sorry was not well received. And the reason why the sorry was not well received was because I wasn't really sorry. And they knew that I wasn't really sorry. But I was just trying to apologize to end the fight, the argument, whatever you want to call it. Now, this is transitioning into, okay, let me finish up how that ended. After some months of getting the cold shoulder from this person, I did some reflection and I realized, yes, this comment was just 100% mistaken. So it's not that the comment was wrong, it was that the person mistook the comment. But the point of the matter was that they felt a way about how they perceived the comment. So I found a way to apologize, but not for the comment, but for my lack of willingness to be like, I'm sorry for how this made you feel. And that's exactly how I did it because I am not somebody who can be inauthentic. So I really started off by saying, hey, I've done a lot of reflective thinking. I know that I didn't mean this statement to be the way that you took it. However, you did take it that way. And I don't want to make you feel that way that you felt. And I'm sorry that I held on to this so long for the purposes of being right instead of just thinking about your feelings. So the point of me saying all of that, let's use Big Brother as the example because it's the most recent thing that we've seen. They're in the house in some cases for 60 something days, 70 something days, 100 something days. People always use these time references to say days spent on these TV shows represent weeks or months spent outside of the house. So you get inside of one of these environments. The only thing that you know is the other people that are in the environment with you. Your family's not around. There's nobody else on the outside that can talk to you and be like, hey, this wasn't a good thing to say, or your read on this person might be wrong, or you shouldn't have said that word, or you shouldn't have done that. You're just in there by yourself with a bunch of strangers who you've never met, competing for large sums of money. So there's no other show that I know of like Big Brother that holds you in the show that long. Big Brother keeps you there for a very long time and gives fans unparalleled access versus other shows to be able to just watch your every move. Hi, Debbie. I did. I was actually watching that. So, hi, Prince. I hate the fact that it's a pet peeve of mine, really, that when fans watch something on a show that they don't like, somebody says the B word, or somebody says something that they think is racist, sexist, misogynist, whatever it is, misogynistic, whatever it is. And they think that they should come out and apologize, make some public apology and say, I'm sorry for my behavior. I was wrong. This is what I'm going to do. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'm never going to do it again. Blah, blah, blah. What is the point of that? Quite honestly, what is the point of that? I want to use the example. I hate to use him as an example because I know that a lot of people just don't like the guy. But Jared, right? Some of the things that Jared was saying to Blue in his conversations with Blue about women, about body count, about what he wants, he can't, what a woman that he's with can or can't do, etc., etc. Or his comment saying, "Oh, I just realized that women were people," which people took in a very literal sense, like, "Oh, I think women aren't people." And I remember like a Cat interview with him where she said, "Oh, when did you come to the realization that women are people?" And a lot of people have found that to be misogynistic. And what are your thoughts on that? And I'm like, that is entertaining to see in an interview for some. It's entertaining to see people get held accountable, held to the flames. But I feel if you just get out of the house a day ago, a week ago, and you get into an interview and the interviewer is like, hey, the fans are saying that this comment, they're mad about this comment that you made, or they're mad about this thing that you said about this person. What are your thoughts on that? You know what answer you're going to get because very few people are going to be like, oh yeah, I stand on that thing that all the fans are mad at me about, and I'm going to double down and say it again, even though they might think that way in their head. So there's two things that I have to say about that. Number one, I don't necessarily feel that the fans are owed an apology for the things that they say to each other in the house. And that might not be a popular opinion, but that's my personal opinion. If you're trying to be a public figure after the show, right, and you are collectively trying to build a fan base for yourself through social media influencing, doing cameos and all of that stuff, yes. In that kind of case, for your own personal reasons, for your business or whatever you're trying to build after you get off the show, it makes sense for you to say, hey, I want to address this. I know that I said this and this and this, or I behaved this way, and I want to apologize and let you guys know the error in my ways. But I don't feel that somebody is immediately going to see the error of their ways. If they believe something was right for 100 days in a row, do you really believe that in 3 days, 4 days after the show ends and you get outside, you're immediately going to be able to have accountability for something that you didn't think was wrong over the course of 100 days? Because I don't. Big Brother is designed to break the house gas because it's a pressure cooker environment. But if they get out and want to apologize on their own, see, that's exactly my point, Smokey. You see how they're obligated to do like a media tour. They have media obligations right after they get out of the house, and immediately, probably the next day, like they get evicted on Thursday, and then Friday, you'll see bang, 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 bang. They've done like 15 interviews in a row, and each interview is like, well, you said this and this and this. What do you have to say for yourself? What are you going to do to change this and this behavior? They just got out of the house. They haven't even processed the experience. So in my mind, anything that they say within those first 24 hours of leaving the house is BS. And I don't mean BS as in they're lying, but I just mean BS as in they think of an answer to the same 10 questions that they're going to get over and over. And if you watch all the interviews back to back, which I did a few times this year, they give the exact same answer. And that's the politically correct, get you off my back answer. I think the best answer would be the person that you hear after they've had an appropriate amount of time to reflect and to disconnect and to reconnect. And then they're like, I've spent some time digesting my experience in the house. And these are the conclusions that I have come to from that time that I have spent thinking about it, processing it. I am wrong because, or I'm right because, you know? Hi, Tasha. Imagine one day someone says, F them fans. Daniel pretty much did that. I mean, he didn't do it in his exit interviews, but he pretty much did that afterwards. These are grown people. They know right from wrong. If they say something 9 times out of 10, they feel that way. Why apologize for not liking someone? I'm actually going to address that in a minute once I get to the rest of these comments. Smokey, I feel it is such a high stress and pressure situation. Also, I think fans don't get that. I agree. Good afternoon, Colleen. People just have such easy access to demand things. I know. I know. People rarely do that to someone. I know. I always say that. Cam said in his exit interviews that what Twitter fans were thinking and griping about was not his thoughts. And I've seen Twitter. You know what? Lisa actually said before. Oh, I wish I could remember exactly what it was, Lisa. I think you said something like um, something about the fans basically bullying the cast. I forgot exactly how you worded it though. Daniel was something else. He definitely embraces that villain role. He sure does. He sure does. Okay, let me go back up to your comment so I can remember what I was about to say. Oh, yes, here we go. So, this is something that all the people who are in my Discord already heard me say this morning. I consider, in a sense, going on to Big Brother or whatever other show as being in a high intensity public office environment. That's my other thing that I was going to say. Everybody acts like you can get 16, 17 strangers, however many strangers, put them all together in this game, and everybody is supposed to like each other. I understand people getting mad over saying things that are derogatory, racist, sexist, whatever it is. I do understand that. But there are certain things where one person does not really resonate well with the other person. They don't like each other. They simply don't like each other. And a case of that, I would say, is honestly maybe another unpopular opinion, Matt in America. Matt in America, I mean, obviously there's things that Matt doesn't like about America, and there's things that America doesn't like about Matt. Matt let those things be known. People wanted to cancel Matt for some of his views on America. That is a personal thing to me. They're allowed to walk away from this house experience and not be friends. That's not a requirement. And frankly, like not everybody is friends in life. Not everybody likes each other. Sorry guys, my dad popped in for a visit. I'd love to jump in on this one, but I'll be listening, and don't forget to like this video. That's okay, Lisa. Not everybody is going to like each other, and some things are not things for the whole public to have to receive some kind of apology. I think some things are between the two cast members. I want to use another example because it's relevant and it's something that I know a little bit about. Taylor and Amara from last year. Amira told me when I met her that she apologized to Taylor on finale night. She was like, I'm sorry, you know, whatever she said. I don't know what she said in the apology, but she told me that she apologized to her. And Taylor was like, we good. Now, I don't know if you guys remember Twitter. Oh, wow, Jacqueline. Congratulations for that. We got a star on our hands here. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting. Let us know when that comes on so we can watch it. I don't really watch that show. I've only seen an episode or two, but I'll watch the season that you're on. All right. I see my coworkers be extremely. This is one leaves the other. This is why I'm not friendly at work. Everybody who has worked with me, I do have a few friends that I make sometimes at work, but generally, having friends at work is not a requirement to me for that reason. We don't have to be buddy buddy. We do not have to be buddy buddy. I still don't trust Amira. I don't care. I think mostly in high stress situations like Big Brother, people's true selves tend to come out, whether it's Luke or Final Three or whoever. It's just sad, nothing we can do. But here's the thing, people's true selves come out. I mean, to an extent, but I think that all of us have a self that is capable of a lot of the things that we see and hear on the shows. I bet you if I had not even 100 days, let's say I had 72 hours, 72 unfiltered hours of watching anybody, or y'all watching me, 72 straight hours. And I don't mean hours like me jumping on this camera, because when I get on this camera, I choose to be professional. When I get on this camera, you don't get the version of me that's walking down the street, or somebody says something to me in the grocery store, or somebody cuts me in line, or I get into work and my coworker or my boss says something crazy to me, or my friend does something that I think is messed up. You don't get that version of me on this camera, because this is my controlled environment. I can control this environment. But if you saw me just, oh, there's cameras on me and I have no choice, you would be like, whoa, this is the guy that we follow. I'm not trying to say that I'm radically different, but I am different when I'm unfiltered, as are all of you. Someone is at the main door. Okay, where are we at? I saw photos of Corey America with Matt and Riley. Well, what happened is, so I don't think there's an issue. What happened is, after those photos were taken, she blocked all of them. Congratulations, Jacqueline. I have two neighbors like to gossip, and I try to walk away from that. That makes me uncomfortable. I know, I know. Despite the fact that I, cover these shows and I cover different stuff that happens on Instagram, I'm not huge on gossip. I usually don't even stay in touch with people I've worked with after I leave the job. I have like a few, but the majority of past coworkers, no, we're not in contact. Unless you go into that pressure cooker house, you cannot say how your whole game will play out. Example, Matt said in exit interviews, he told people what they wanted to hear. Mark, should I buy a recorder? Random, but hi. Matt might say this to this one and that to that one. As it should. These people you work with have no loyalty, and you shouldn't be loyal to them as well. The companies don't have loyalty either. Ha! I have a lot to say about that. Some of it I've said in Discord, and some of it I'll be able to say in 2 weeks. Good afternoon, Ed. Do you have recorder money? I read that in Who used to say that stuff? Everybody hates Chris. Ma, Colleen, Cass. We meet again. What about your phone screen? I wish I could show you guys. I'm working off of a cracked computer screen. I have a cracked phone. Everything is broken. Mark, you're not speaking. Training day voice. That's not getting fixed anytime soon. I'm late, but my 2 cents on the title. Give us your 2 cents on the title, Ed. Oh, can I give you my 2 cents on the title? Can you give me your 2 cents so I can buy a recorder? What recorder do you know that costs 2 cents? When that show was on, I had 3 really good friends, all named Chris. That's funny. Hi, Melanie. Get the recorder, Ma, and play beautiful music. By the way, before I got on here, I was watching the Frasier reboot. It's kind of funny. I don't know if any of y'all liked Frasier, but I loved Frasier, and I watched the. I watched. I've been watching the reboot that comes on every Thursday, Paramount Plus and CBS. Depends. Usually, no, it's a game, but some things are egregious. Well, yeah, I'm not talking about things that are egregious enough to warrant an apology. You say like a racial slur, or you comment on somebody's dead family member. Like there's huge lines that you can't cross. However, I'm talking about saying something like, oh, this person gives me cheater vibes. Why would you owe the world an apology for saying that you think that somebody is potentially a cheater based on things they've said to you? Why do you owe the world an apology for that? And as a matter of fact, being frank, why do you owe America an apology for that? The only reason you would owe America, or not owe her, the only reason you would give America an apology for that is if you feel like you were wrong for saying that. But I feel like, having listened to Matt in the house, he had these feelings about America for a while, and it's not just that one thing. He said multiple things about America that revolve around that theme. So I'm like, are you giving her an apology because everybody is telling you that you need to give her an apology and you need to apologize to them for saying that thing about her? Or are you apologizing because you thought about it and you don't think that she's a cheater? Because that's basically the only reason that you should be apologizing, because you think that it was wrong, not because people are telling you that it's wrong. That's my point of what I'm trying to say. Y'all have a wonderful day. Take care. And let's not act like your local office that you work in doesn't have people saying those things about each other. You see Jane that seems to be a little bit friendly with Mike at work. They leave the job together. There's a group of people gossiping right now. Isn't Jane married? Why does she spend so much time with Mike? Did you notice that they left together? You know what I mean? Like, people act like the people on the show are different than the people in your life. They are not. I don't know these nice, friendly people in Pleasantville that all of you know, but that's not the people that I see around me. It's a cold world. I sure will, and it will not be off key. You are at 5.1K likes. Yes, there is a reboot. Thursdays at, oh, what time? I don't know what time it airs on CBS, but I just know that I watch it on the Paramount Plus app. I wondered about the new Frasier and if it was going to be good because they don't have Niles or Daphne on there, so I thought that instantly doomed the show. And his father, the guy who played his father in real life, he passed. So I'm here thinking, oh, I don't know how good this show is going to be, but Frasier has been the same Frasier he's been since Cheers. And sometimes I don't like remakes, but this one's pretty funny. I think they have two options: the $4.99 one with commercials and the $9.99 one without commercials. I want to see the new Monk movie too. I think it may be on there. I forgot about the reboot. Got to check it out. I got a year for $40 last month, but that promo I think is over. And I think if you have T-Mobile, you can get a free year also. Has Jag been making BB rounds on morning shows? I have not seen it. He might have. I have not been terribly invested in what Jag has been doing, but this morning I watched Jag on Kat Dunn's interview. What is it called? Conspire Away. What is it? Conspire Away podcast or something. And that was actually what made me think of this when she was asking him questions about the behavior with Felicia, I guess. Felicia and Sari. Some folks need a life. What if you meet America and you want to do an interview with her and she says, but yes, you want to apologize for something you said before doing your interview? Are you apologize? So are you saying, you're asking if I wanted to do an interview with America and she happened to be like, I heard something that you said on your channel and you have to give me a public apology before I do the interview with you? Okay, so my answer to that would be no, unless I really felt like I was sorry for whatever it was. I'll give you an actual example. Let's say if one day Taylor says to me, Mark, I would have considered doing this interview with you, but I did not appreciate your video that you made, or your video or videos that you made asking if questioning whether my relationship with Joe was real. I didn't appreciate that. And I want an apology for it, right? My apology would probably be, it wouldn't be like, I'm sorry for making the videos, because I made them. I chose to make them. It would just be more like, I'm sorry for the way that you felt about me making those videos. And I promise you that my intent was not malicious. And that's the most I could give. But in just doing an about face and giving an apology that I don't really feel, no, I wouldn't do that. I'd only want the apology if it was sincere and came from the heart. But in this situation, exactly, it would be hard to tell sincerity. And I feel like that would almost be a power thing for America to do, because she would know if she wanted me to apologize on the spot for something that I said on my page whenever I said it. I feel like if you're apologizing for something and it's sincere, you have to be able to think about the other side. So the only way I could give her a genuine apology, really, is if she said, I think that you are wrong here, and here's why. And then I have time to think about what she said and decide whether I feel like I was right or wrong. People gossip at work, in families. Man, families are like the number one. School, staff room. I had some staff room recordings. We would have, if I had staff room recordings, we would have no teachers left. I believe it. Imagine if someone made your office a reality show, Lisa. You think people would watch it? I want to make my own show. I have so many ideas about making shows. It's just so hard to formulate ideas that require other people, because it would require cast, it would require production, it would require probably multiple writers to help me write things for the show. But that would be a dream of mine, even if it's not some big Netflix or CBS or whatever, just an exclusive show that I make for my channel. But I would need a lot of assistance for that. Yeah, the dad passed. Yeah, Niles and Daphne declined. I read that the reason why Niles declined was because he said, you know, the Niles character is a thing of the past. So Daphne was on another show which ended. She said she might come on. Niles said if they can write a good script for him, he will look at it. At least there's hope. But even if he does come back, they have really got, I mean, people would love it if he came back, obviously, but they've actually got some good characters. I like the guy who plays Freddy. They have a couple of other new characters that are really funny. Don't we all, Colleen? Definitely, Ma. Inside school staff rooms is where all the drama is. I believe that. Oh, holiday parties. I've seen some things at some holiday parties. I've seen some things at some office holiday parties. She's going to demand an apology from you on behalf of your subscribers for calling her man a booger eating pimp squeak. I'd be like, did I lie, America? You know what? When it comes to interviews, I used to be like, oh, let me request everybody. And some people are like that. If you're on the show, you come off the show, I reach out, whoever I get, I get. I started making it a habit of really mostly only asking somebody for an interview if they resonate with me. And I think that sometimes the cast who doesn't know me might think, oh, this is just a guy who's trying to get whoever was on the show. But no, I don't even reach out anymore unless you are somebody who resonates with me for some reason. So I don't really think that I would ask America. I don't really think I'd ask America. If the opportunity presented itself somehow, I would do the interview, but I would not really be going out of my way to request her. You were held for review for that comment. If my family members could be canceled for random opinions or gossip, I know, right? Me too. Same thing. If everyone had the opportunity to be canceled, there'd be no people left to cancel. I was just watching that episode right now, right before I got on here. I was like, wow, they brought Lilith back? Frasier's dad. There's certain characters, there's certain elderly characters. Well, he wasn't that old when he was on the show. I think he was only in his 60s or so. But there's certain like dad, grandfather, grandmother characters on shows that whatever lines they had just stole the show. Marty, I think that was his name, Marty Crane. He was one of them. Mona from Who's the Boss, and who else? The grandma on Family Matters. There's a few of them. Yeah, the chair that he had in the room that Frazier couldn't stand. I don't blame you. America didn't do much in the house. I just use her as an example because she takes everything personally. Those people, honestly, those people essentially just ignore you when you don't say things that they like. That's what I've realized about these TV shows, casts. If you say things about them that they don't like, they don't even have to be malicious. They don't have to be rude. They don't have to be ignorant. It's just if you're like, oh, this person didn't play the game in a way that I like, or I don't think this showmance is going to last. Those types of things, they will just ignore you. I have never had anyone from any cast be like, I need an apology from you. And I'm not afraid of them asking me to do that either, but it's just never happened and I don't see it happening. The public apology crap is illy. I knew a guy said he asked everybody out till someone says yes. Well, the law of averages, I guess. The law of averages. Is Blue getting together with Jared? Yeah, I think that they're working on it. I know Van Hoot, it's a game. Van Hoot, I don't know if you meant to say silly, but illy sounds like a new phrase. It sounds like a new phrase to you because, well, you know why. It sounds like a new phrase to you and Ma because Van Hoot is from my era. I did not dislike anyone in the BB house, and I think they need to remember it was high pressure game. They all say things and have opinions based on who is helping them. Who did I not like in the Big Brother house? I mean, I don't hate anyone from from this season's cast, but there were definitely people I didn't like. Um, yeah, I mean, most of what I didn't like was gameplay stuff. I thought a few things with Cam were a little bit on the strange side. Jag was getting on my nerves, but it's not that I really didn't like them or hated them or anything like that. It's just that within the game, I didn't really like them too much. But there were times I did like Cam. High pressure game, high stakes. Exactly. Amira asked me, and a couple other people actually asked me, Mark, would you ever go on Big Brother? I was like, y'all can have that. I would, of all the shows, I would never want to be on Big Brother. And some people have told me, oh, you know, if you want to boost your channel, yeah, I would boost my channel definitely. I would definitely get a boost on my social media, my channel, and all of that. But the amount of hate that I would have to deal with, you know, being just a low key podcaster with 820, 30, whatever subscribers on my channel, I didn't face the Camericas this year. I didn't face these Twitter hate groups and these Reddit hate groups and stuff. I've been able to just speak my opinions and not be bothered. And even in the house, the mamas had strong dislike opinions of Bowie. Even when she was trying to work with them, she got on their nerves for some reason. Sure did. Dolly Parton is releasing a rock album. Who's excited for Reindeer Games? Reindeer Games is coming up in about 3 weeks. I'm going to be covering that. That's going to be fun. I think that they said that that's going to go 6 episodes, 10 days, something like that, 10 or 11 days, 6 episodes. So we're going to get a fast-paced move-in version of Big Brother. past 3 seasons, who are the 3 people that are most memorable? You mean one from each? Okay, so for me, season 20, 23, 24, and 25. Now, most memorable, do you mean the person that comes to your mind first or the person who played the game most memorably? When you give me that, then I'll tell you who I think is most memorable. Like the first one that pops into my mind or the person who played the game in the most memorable way. We can't be the only youngins here. We need recruits. How many people in here are under 25? Just a question. How many people on here are under 25? If you don't remember, you started with a bunch of old jokes and I countered, but young people can't really. This generation is used to dishing it and not taking it back. They go to HR. Ma and I could go to the concert because I am a Diamond Pass member, but I will skip it. Let someone else go. Rock is not my thing. I will watch reindeer games. I love rock, but I'm not a hardcore fan of it. Or hear me out, you go on and win Big Brother. Well, with 750K, I guess I could ignore the haters. I'll watch reindeer games out of pure boredom and curiosity. And the small sliver of hope to see Heisem again. Both? Okay, so I have to say, Xavier. If this is just for the gameplay one, Xavier, because obviously he's the first black male winner. Um, then I have to say Taylor, obviously. Taylor is an easy one for last season. And for this season, I would say Sari. And I guess that's a partially because she's already known. So that's my answer in terms of like gameplay or whatever. Now, in terms of most memorable, I might go with Tiffany for season 23. For season 24, outside of Taylor, I don't know if 24 was all that popular outside of Taylor, but I might go with Joseph, just just because of all their showman stuff. And 25 outside of Sari, I guess maybe Jag, I don't know. But I just don't feel like 25 is a very memorable season, honestly. Maybe Izzy. Yeah, I'll go with Izzy. I wouldn't want to do BB either, but I don't mind judging every season. Well, don't we all? I applied for the challenge several times when I was like teenager and early 20s, but like present day challenge, A, I wouldn't win, and B, it's too hard. So if I was on a show, I would be more on a social strategy show. The most recent thing I've applied for is The Circle. I didn't get in, obviously, because I think season 6 already taped. And I think season 7 has already started taping. So that one's probably not happening. I am in my mind. I will watch. Now, I'm trying to think of a show that is related to mental health and competition. And I know that might be an oxymoron, but that's where my brainstorming phase is at right now. I'm dreaming Heisem will be in reindeer games, even though it'll probably be Cam Barf. We're recruiting under 28. You're strict on who's a millennial and who's not. Mark likes to gatekeep to feel old. If Cam is going to be on reindeer games, he is not giving any hints of it from his IG posts that I saw. I don't see Sari doing it or any. Oh, yeah, I don't think she'll do reindeer games. I'm probably the oldest. Well, I'm not even going to do that, but I don't know. I know somebody on here that said that they were mid 70s. God bless them. Maybe Matt will be on reindeer games. If you're between Gen Z and millennial and know what GAT is, we will accept your application. If it's Cam, that would be horrible. We deserve Heisem. I know. Michael, I would love for Michael to be on reindeer games. I could see Sari or Matt being invited on reindeer games. Bring back Heisem and not Cam. Definitely not Sari. Sari is not only exhausted, but not great. Yeah, I wouldn't enjoy seeing her on reindeer games. I tend to think BB is wanting to invite the popular house guests because if it is just 6 shows and they want views. I might do Amazing Race. I wouldn't mind doing Amazing Race. Even though I don't watch Amazing Race, from what I have seen of it, I wouldn't mind participating in it. Oh, I'm sorry. 10 years ago with my best friend Christopher, but he passed from a heart issue and had always wanted to do it. I'm sorry about that, Colleen. Matt is still in LA. Yeah, he did say that he was staying in LA though for a little bit. Sorry for your loss. I'm going to buy a recorder now. I look at something like the circle and I say to myself, the circle is such an easy concept. It's well done, it's well put together. It's such a simple concept. And I think to myself, all it takes is just getting the concept down, getting the right people to help you with the proposal, getting the right people to record everything, edit it the way that it needs to be. Yeah. You know, another thing that I loved that I wish they were still doing? Paramount, what's it called? Real World Homecoming. I loved Real World Homecoming. Do Amazing Race with me. It'll be quality TV. Riley went back home, Matt in LA, so maybe Matt was invited on reindeer games. Good point. Norway, Sari joins reindeer games. She sucks at comp. She would be great in the older seasons of Big Brother, right? It was crushing. We were like brother and sister so tight. So now I have a friend from my teenage days who contacted me last year and said how great we would be at Amazing Race. I did zip line for the first time. I think it was 2021. So I did zip line for the first and only time in 2021, and that was just a bucket list thing for me. I was so scared doing zip lining. The real world is fun, but I suppose it's not as popular as the challenge. You know what? The real world for its time, I think, was more popular than the challenge. I mean, obviously, the real world started 10 years before the challenge, 9-10 years before the challenge, but it was more popular than the challenge. But something like the real world couldn't stand the test of time in today's type of era, because in today's era it's just so different. Survivor lost another good player too. Thankfully, there still are a few. Who was the last person? I forgot her name. Thank you for all for your kindness. If I ever see that guy again, Brandon, because y'all saw I took that picture with Brandon at the Survivor premiere party, and I saw him and I was like, man, I hope that you go far in the show, not knowing that he was out in the next episode. I was like, I really connect with you and I understand the anxiety issues that you were facing. He's like, yeah, man. And I'm like, yeah, I hope you go far. And he was like, yeah, I hope so too. I watched the very next episode and he's out. I was like, this man swindled me. Oh, Kelly, thank you. The Cowboy Prince. She was good and seemed like in a good spot. Yeah, and the thing was, Survivor does so good with the edits because this whole time I'm thinking the only two possibilities are what's his name, the Boston guy going home, or Bruce. They made it seem like Bruce might give him his idol. That was the only two things that I thought. Either he was going to go home or he was going to get the idol from Bruce. That's what I thought might happen. And then this Kelly thing came out of nowhere because I don't even think they really showed people talking about Kelly. They do great with those edits. That was the best tribal though. Loved it. By the way, there's 28 of y'all here on a Friday afternoon. Appreciate y'all for being here. I am going to be on here a lot more daytimes. I mean, I'm still going to come on at night, but I'm going to have a lot more daytimes opened up for me in a couple of weeks when I'm not at my job. So shout out to all of you who are on here. Please make sure to hit that like button to make sure that the likes match the amount of people in here viewing this video.
What sense does that make? The math is not mathing.
Thank you for that, Mimi. The math is also not mathing with 25 views and 5,000 likes. I thought it was going to be boring. I wonder if BB will invite players for Reindeer Games who got a lot of votes for AFP, but they did not win it. I would like to see like a Tiffany come back. I wonder if BB will invite. Oh, same one. Lisa, me too. Still recovering from my man Caleb. I was all in. I don't feel too super strongly connected to anyone yet. Jake, yeah. Jake was like, whoa. Oh, I mean, whoa. Like I said in my Discord, I didn't like Jake when I first saw him on the show because it just brought back all these memories of living in Boston and how I hate the Bostonian accent. But he's grown on me over the last few episodes. Survivor blindsides the viewers because they couldn't get Bruce out. They took his sidekick, Kelly, to weaken him. Math not matching. Oops, meant math not mathing. By the way, we got it. Well, I don't have it yet, but whenever she finishes with it, I got a cameo. I ordered a cameo from Mimi. I like supporting house guests or, these people that come off the show at least once. I got one before from Xavier. I had one from Hannah. Who else? Xavier, Hannah from Big Brother, Polly, Wes. Hisela, if you remember her from the challenge. I think that was it from the shows, but yeah, I like to give them some support with cameos. So I have a funny, hopefully a funny one if she makes it funny that I requested from her. And as soon as that's done, I'll post it up on here. Math not matching actually works. Math not matching is actually, it makes more sense than math not mathing. Honestly. Have a good day, everyone. I need to go. I did hit like. Thanks, Smokey. You getting a cameo from Corey. That would be funny, but no. But that would actually be funny. And I believe that he would actually make it funny. But I'm just not doing it. I'm just not interested in doing it. So we are on our 10-minute warning. The 10-minute warning is the part of the show where I let you know that I have 10 minutes before I jump off here. One of these days, I'm going to get the actual timer to just put in the corner. Actually, maybe with the timer, it would make it a little bit less fun. But I'll say it shows me 1 hour and 4 minutes that I've been on here. So let's say 1:15, I'm hopping off. Cool, thanks, Mark. Math not matching it is. And I'll give another example. I bought my recorder, by the way. The fandom came for, let me see. I think, and don't hate me, and maybe BB should shift to more of a survivor style. More frequent evictions, less downtime, and maybe no more feeds, but an episode every night like BB UK. I was with you up until the no more feeds part. Everything else I like, except for the no more feeds part. I'm not with that. But I do like the more frequent evictions, less downtime, shorter season. All he can say is his boogers taste exquisite. We don't need that. Interesting, Lisa. It probably would be hilarious. Yeah, I can't do it without the feeds. I tried to do it with BB Can. And while there was, I bet you I would have loved BB Can 11, honestly, with feeds. If there was actual feeds that I could watch for BB Can 11, I think that I would have enjoyed it. But because there was no feeds, the math was not mathing on the entertainment for me. I could never watch another Big Brother season without feeds. Now, possibly I could go back and watch a season when it's completely already out and I'm bored for a day and I just want to binge it. Yeah, I could do that, but LOL, Lisa. So that's what the don't hate me part was for. Yeah, Lisa. Actually, I got to say something to what you just said.
What sense does that make? The math is not mathing.
The math is not mathing for another show with no feeds. The math is not mathing. Mark's gonna cancel me because I love canceling people. I am the king of cancel, which is entirely not true. I don't cancel anybody, but I do block people when they're stupid. Actually, I don't block people when they're stupid. I just block them when they're out of pocket. That's what I should say. because I have allowed a lot more people to stay than the people who I have not allowed to stay. You get a cancel. I get a cancel. Everyone gets a free cancel.
Oh my God, Jesus. I know you like you were just way too stingy with the common sense. You needed to disperse it a little better because these people.
You were way too stingy with the common sense. The funny thing is, we didn't even cancel Spivey. Spivey just left. I do block people when they're stupid. I have blocked people on this channel. I definitely have. And I blocked people on the last channel. And that's probably why we can continue to enjoy the conversations that we have. I surprisingly thought that this season I would face a similar amount of backlash as last season. And it was about a fifth of that. It was pretty light. Spivey self-evicted. He's self-evicted for real. Spivey canceled us. I vote to evict myself. He came back at the beginning of the season. Like he put a couple of comments. I think the comments were about Jared, unsurprisingly. Everybody likes to hate on the King Jared. And then he got tired of it after maybe the second week. And then he just disappeared. I would love a Spivey and Ma interaction. It seems like mentally unhealthy people make it through a rigorous process and make it on TV. I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but typically I have found that when people apply to be on one of these shows, especially something like Big Brother, where you're away from friends, family, whatever, for 2 months, 3 months, there's always a reason behind somebody wanting to go on the show. And it usually is not just money. There's usually some kind of thing that's going on in their life that they are unhappy with, or they're seeking some kind of purpose. We only know basically the little summary that they give us at the beginning. And then we just see them like as if they were just born that day. But there's lots going on with a lot of these people that come on these shows. Now imagine someone like Sari going on 5 shows. Like that's something. I watch BB because of the feeds. Me too. We got 2 people who quit. Not King Jared. BBUK did a great job of covering everything in their daily episodes, but also pulled up footage they didn't use if they needed to prove something. I had forgotten that. Brandon gave me quitter vibes. I wish I had. Let's see. Yeah, the season of Survivor, it started off really slow, but it picked up. It's picked up in the last few weeks because I remember we had 2 quits in 4 weeks or something like that. Terrible. But it has gotten really good. I definitely believe that production doesn't like selecting normal level head. Yeah, there's a typecast that they select. The thing that I don't like, however, is that I've heard inside information about Big Brother. You know how we always go back and forth about how much production influences the house guests in the diary room or whatever? I heard some things that would suggest that they were pushing for the Riley and Matt showmance to remain in the house, and also pushing for certain people to get evicted over others. And I'll leave it at that. And I think that that sucks for the integrity of the game. But I guess they've probably been doing this for years, and maybe some people have benefited from it and some people have not. It's the game. You know, I have signed up for a couple of shows, and in the applications, in the application form, there's parts of the application that tell you that production can do things that will alter the outcomes of the games. Like it's a changing environment, and production can do what they see fit for whatever reason. They can change game rules. They have all those stipulations in there. Not normal, you know what I mean? They exploit contestants and throw money at them, so the production company makes millions. Exploiting and possibly endangering innocent people for clicks and views is criminal, isn't it? And but you know what? I'll say something else. Production exploits them for clicks and views, right? But podcasters, some podcasters exploit and endanger them for clicks and views as well. And you see, I don't do that on my channel. And sometimes I know things and I don't say them because I sit here and I'm like, yeah, people would be entertained by me talking about that, but they have a whole life to live outside of the show. I'm so naive. They sign their lives away with those contracts. Yeah, I heard about that. That sounds wild. All right, everybody. I might come back for Friday night, which is tonight. I've still thought about doing some kind of game night. We tested it out on Discord, but I want to figure out a way how to do a game night that I could do on here for everybody to see and maybe participate somehow. Because the problem with doing Discord and sharing my screen on here is if it's like a guessing game or something, y'all are going to see whatever I'm putting up there. So it kind of defeats the purpose. So I'll figure something out. I want to make Friday night a game night on my channel. I'm going to figure out how to do that. I might start by doing some kind of trivia. Oh, for sure. Some podcasters are backyard TMZ shows. Exactly. They do TMZ's job for free. For sure. BB trivia. Oh, that's exactly what I was thinking. I guess for that one to work, I could make it so that, I ask y'all questions and then you respond in the chat. Maybe I have rounds or something. But I would have to get, well, everyone would basically be a participant because it would be too hard to try to regulate only these people can answer the question. So maybe it would just be I keep track of points of who answered it first. I don't remember Tic Tac Doe. I do remember Hollywood Squares. Hollywood Squares is a fun show. I remember what's her name? Caroline, the one of the people who played one of the one of the witches on Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Caroline Ray, I think is her last name. For some reason, she stands out of my mind from being on that show several times, and she always had funny things to say when they got to her square. Everybody plays in a game like that. Let me see what that is. Tic Tac Doe. An American television show. Oh, this is an old show, huh? Oh, yeah, that's before my time. That's why I don't know about it. It ended in 1990. Yes, old show for me. It ended when I was 3. Um, have a bunch of BB categories and take turns naming things until one person is left. Like BB winners, and then we go one at a time, naming them, and we get stumped and have one winner every round. That's a good idea. It's just that certain things doing them on the YouTube page, that would be chaos. If anyone watched the challenge episode Wednesday, chaos. I can see that being chaos. Unless I had a timer or something. And then like everybody who got one right advances to the next round. But it, try to figure it out. But the easiest thing for me would be if I had the participants confirmed beforehand. Match Game, now that's an old show. Loved Match Game, Brett Somers, Riley Dawson. I was in elementary school. By the way, Match Game. You mean Richard Dawson? That's what I was. Do you mean Richard Dawson? Because when you said that name, I saw this compilation of him and things that let me make sure I'm talking about the right person. Yes. I saw this YouTube compilation of Richard Dawson. He was questionable. The things that he was doing on these shows were questionable, but male game show hosts back in those days, they used to be able to do a lot. I still watch it sometimes, Colleen. Isn't that a challenge on the challenge? Everyone starts fresh every round, then each category, whoever wins gets a point. And who wins the category? The person who gets the most right wins the category. He did kiss everyone right on the lips. And he grabbed them, he squeezed them. Happy Friday, enjoy your day. Should I do Julie Chen? Love one another. But first, in front of the husband, Richard Dawson likes to kiss people. He did. He did. Richard Dawson would not be on TV in 2023. He just would not. He would not be on TV in this era. Everyone who gets stumped is out. We'll talk. Too tricky to type. Yeah, type it in the Discord. Okay, everybody. In the words of Julie Chen, love one another. And in the words of Mark, have an amazing day.